MVP says that he has zero respect for Triple H. Now, I wasn't too shocked reading this. MVP doesn't have respect for a couple of guys he wrestled alongside for a while there in WWE. Some of the most politicking guys. And I think that's sort of the common theme. So Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and Chris Jericho being one of them. He doesn't like Chris Jericho either. And everybody knows Jericho is like the most politic-y dude ever backstage in WWE and likely in AEW. He can just do whatever he wants, though. Except for date Kylie Ray or whatever, allegedly. I don't know. I'm being a dick. Anyways, so he has zero respect for Triple H. And so, guys, this is what no one's talking about. I shed some light on it. I've been saying it for a long time since we first saw rumors of MVP, like on Instagram. Not rumors, rather, like we got inklings of him being like, I don't really like Triple H. And I had brought up, man, this stems from when they were in the locker room together way back when. And the politicking, like it stems from before it was like him getting in power. Although Triple H getting in power didn't help much. But also Bobby Lashley was on huge Vince McMahon money. He was a Vince guy. You know, and as I explained earlier, Hurt Syndicate during the pandemic, Hurt Syndicate or Hurt Business rather, that was to appease Bobby Lashley. Vince didn't put the Hurt Business back together either. Why? Because he doesn't really give about MVP or Shelton Benjamin. You got to be perfectly honest with that. You know, maybe MVP a little bit, but he didn't give about Cedric Alexander either. And the Hurt Business never came back because Lashley was willing to come to work, and Vince was like, okay, top guy who can come to work. Who do you want to work with? What do you want to do? It's the pandemic. We're unlimited here. And that's why Roman started doing his family as well. Because who do you want to work with? Well, me and my cousins will come to work and da-da-da-da-da. That's how that all went down. I need everybody to understand that. So MVP had this to say. Let's just say this. Bobby Lashley was a two-time WWE champion. And after he took over, Bobby Lashley was reduced to the mid-card. Bobby Lashley is a bankable, marketable guy and two-time WWE champion. Got reduced to mid-card, whatever. MJF, the guy in your group, mid-card guy. What are you talking about? Lashley's a tag champion with Shelton Benjamin doing glorified squash matches. He just wrestled Goldust and Sammy Guevara for the tag titles in a lower mid match. This is what I mean. I hate when these go to AEW and just start saying dumb. You're not allowed to say this dumb. And yeah, I'm calling it dumb. You're not allowed to say this now, or you're allowed to say whatever you want, but it comes across very like phony or just ridiculous when it's like Lashley's a tag champ right now wrestling Goldust in the mid-lower card on this pay-per-view. That just happened. What are you talking about? MJF is a two-time or one-time AEW world champion who's been a mid-card guy literally wrestling Jeff Jarrett and Goldust. Literally. And now he's in your group that's wrestling Goldust with the tag titles. What are you talking about, man? This is what I mean. You're not really mad about this. You don't really care about this. You're using this so the fans go, yeah, that is right. Lashley, how dare. You're using Lashley as like your shield in this one because you don't actually think this because you're in a new company and you could argue you're in a worse position. What I said specifically in response to the person on my Instagram page was that you see it. It's my opinion of how he chooses to book certain talents. Some people say that all the time. Oh, MVP is just griping. MVP is just crying. No, I don't think it's griping or crying. I just think you're not saying what you really want to say. Okay, well, just watch the program. Who are the people in the top spots under his leadership? Who are the people in the top spots under Tony Khan's leadership? They've had one black world champion. Are you trying to go to the black thing, MVP? Because they've had one black world champion and the fans had to melt down and scream and cry for it. And it came months later than everyone wanted it with Swerve. So, like, what are you really talking about, man? If you're trying to go there, no, dude, we cannot go there with this, okay? Who were given the opportunities. And I'm not talking about NXT. I'm talking about the main show. So you're going to separate the two now. I have my opinions based on my personal experiences, and that's fair. That's what we don't know, and I think he's just not saying what he really thinks. And at some point on my podcast and my YouTube show, I'll talk about it. See, there you go. On his show, he'll talk about the shit, but he's not really saying what he means here. And I'll go in depth about what my issues are with that man. And I'll be honest with you, my issues with him have nothing to do with race. Okay, well, it kind of came across like that's what you were trying to say. So then, okay, so if it wasn't about race, look at the people he put on top, and I'm not talking NXT. So just not Bobby Lashley then, and you don't like that. So John Cena and Cody Rhodes, and so like Cody Rhodes wasn't one of the top guys in the company you work for now. CM Punk is one of the top guys. That's not good enough for you. He was just the top guy in the company you're in now. I don't really know what what you're talking about, MVP. I think you're just talking out your ass here. My issues have to do with him as a person and our personal interactions. There you go. See, it's personal. It has nothing to do with all this other shit, this objective business shit that you're trying to insert into this. It's your subjective interpersonal dynamic between you and Triple H. So say that. But I'll get into that on my show, marking out with it. Well, that's gimmick infringement, brother. You'll be hearing from my lawyers. No.
Are you sure about that?
No. And Dwayne Swayze. So yeah, he alleged as well, and for some reason it's not in here, so maybe it was deleted, the post or something, but I thought it was in here. But he also alleged that at one point Triple H had called him the N-word, and that Triple H had gotten the pass for the N-word. I swear I had it bookmarked, but Triple H said he got the pass from Virgil back in the day, which, by the way, that doesn't mean shit. Whether that's true, that remains to be seen. But yeah, if that did happen, that's for sure when Triple H was a talent, you know. And it's like Hulk Hogan. He's like, bro, well, let me tell you something, dude. We all used to use that word, brother. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll see as the story develops. He's launching a YouTube show, and that's why he went hard in the paint on Triple H. Let's just be perfectly clear and honest there, right, chat? That's why he went hard in the paint. That's going to get him his first episode. People are going to be like, oh my God, they're all going to tune in to see what he has to say. And if people want to point as well to when like DX did blackface, okay. And if they want to point to the Triple H Booker T feud, okay. And then if this story turns out to be true, okay, we might have a problem. That's all I'm saying. But hey, that's all just one guy saying shit, trying to hype up his pod. So we'll see. I'm not like hating on MVP. I think he's awesome still. I think Hurt Syndicate is worth watching in AEW. But something happens where motherfuckers start coping really hard when they go to AEW. Honest to God, man, and it's clear like shit just didn't work out for them in WWE the way they thought. And so they're coping by like just taking as much money as they can in AEW. But the proof is in the pudding with Ricochet and with MVP, what he's saying, and like Will Ospreay. That's the proof right there. They're the way they have been conducting themselves. It's proof that money doesn't. Well, it's this old saying, money doesn't buy happiness or whatever, and I know that's bullshit. Like me right now, if I had $1 million, I'd be so happy, you know? But you guys get what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't fill that void. Like, what they really wanted was to make it in wrestling, and their fucking dreams they got told no, a door shut in their face. Right, which is someone who's a writer and who's auditioned for shit and stuff. I mean, you got rejection is fucking, you got to have thick skin, man. And these people got rejected. Like Will Ospreay, he just like, I'm just gonna take all the money up front. But you can tell he just can't stop talking about WWE and coping, because in his soul it doesn't sit right. Like, he knows he's not the best. He knows he took the easy road, is just take all this upfront money and then, like, not try and prove it. Then can I be among the immortals, among the greats? That won't ever be fulfilled. And then some of these people just sound bitter, like who've never been there. Like Eddie Kingston, he tried out, then he talks shit. You're just bitter. And that's the thing. It comes across a little bitter with MVP. But if there was like a real racial thing there, then okay, I'm not gonna like deny him. Someone called you the N-word, bro, punch him in the fucking face. I'm not ever gonna say, disagree with you on that one. But yeah, all I'm saying is that it seems like the WWE shit, they're sort of just coping. Like, yeah, getting all that money up front is good, but you notice the people like Sonya Deville goes and works with Invicta and TNA, and she doesn't have any bad shit to say. She's not coping over what she thought she could have done. I know Ricochet wants to just go beat everyone and win all the time now, and he wasn't doing that before, but like, that's not everyone's job to put on like the best wrestling show and shit. Not everybody can win all the time. Just ask Mark Briscoe, who you all have no problem beating. That's what's crazy. You all will talk shit about, what does Carmelo Hayes want? Well, what does Mark Briscoe want? Dude's brother had to die for them to give him a shot, and everyone just beats him to dust all the time. And you all have no problem doing that. Like, none of these people really believe the shit they're saying, especially Will Ospreay. That dude copes harder than anybody. But anyways, though, not about AEW. We're still in WWE news. So as I told you guys earlier, at Money in the Bank, there will be an announcement. No dirt sheets are talking about this because they're clowns. There will be an announcement at Money in the Bank. I don't know. Hopefully they bought a Japanese company, or hopefully they're announcing some sort of an arena show in Mexico or something. I have no clue. But Also, they're planning another AAA crossover show. Now, you got to put that in brackets because they own AAA, or they're 51% owners. So it's like to say WWE is going to do another AAA crossover show. Yeah, no shit, they own it, so it's not really even but like a AAA crossover marketed focus show, you know what I mean, where it's marketed like it's AAA crossing over with the Fed. They're planning another one because this one was already such a huge success. I don't know when that'll get announced or whatever, but that's facts right there. I don't think any sheets are on that one either. And just in some other news here from Lucha Blog, shout him out, who's been doing tremendous work covering the whole AAA, WWE, all that stuff. He says the AAA Vikingo Alberto match streams on Max tonight, but only in Mexico and a couple of other LATM countries. There's currently no way to legally watch the show live in the US or Canada. Maybe it'll be on YouTube. He followed up and said it might be on YouTube. Interesting, though, AAA is on Max, though, no? So we have WWE guys scrapping it out on Max tonight. I wonder what the numbers are. Add 30%, Brian. Add 30% for Vikingo. That's what Dave would do if this was AEW. So keep an eye on that. I'd love to see if numbers get released for that or anything. And another aspect of WWE moving into Mexico is there's some like drama afoot here. So Aero Lucha sent out an email announcing that they're dissolving as a company. And their claims are that WWE buying AAA makes it impossible for them to succeed as an indie. Fan investors will not get any more money, will not get any of their money back. It's all gone. So fans invested in this thing, this like indie Fed, and then they just claimed we got to go out of business because WWE. And then they just took off. I mean, people invested in this. And Lucha Blog on the side here saying outscooped Sean Ross Sapp on the only important story in wrestling by dogged reporting. Someone sent me the email. And this is what I mean. I'm outscooping all you motherfuckers, even Lucha Blog with the sale of AAA and Hot Lucha Summer and these announcements coming up and the next AAA show they're already working on. I'm out scooping the dirt sheets, bro. So shout out Lucha Blog as well. Even though people call him, they're like, you just hate the Fed and shit. I don't know why. He's just a Lucha fan. Leave him alone. Who cares if he doesn't like WWE? He doesn't sit there and go like, fuck the Fed, man. Like he just talks about Lucha. Shut the fuck up. Like, anyways, this email was sent out. Your investment in Aero Lucha Inc. will be a loss. The company had no residual assets after debts. You may be able to claim a capital loss or even an ordinary loss, depending on your situation. You should consult your CPA for specific guidance based on your tax profile. Again, this is not the outcome we desired, etc. They blamed it on WWE, though. This guy says the last event this unknown company had was in 2018. Holy shit, you suck as a journalist with your corny Fed bad bias. I don't even know if Lucha Blog's really a journalist like that. I guess you could say he is, the way people say I'm a journalist or a reporter, right? Because people are like, well, you do report the news, but I'm not trying to like break reports and shit, but I guess I do in a way. So maybe Lucha Blog is in that way. Where's the Fed bad shit, man? It's just whenever people see you criticize AEW, like it's so funny, man. If people scrolled my Twitter or actually listen to the show, they would hear me. I've been going hard on WWE lately, man. I just went hard as shit on Triple H and Shawn Michaels booking. But they'll just say you're a sicko. And now because of the sickos, we have wackos now who just, if you say like, yo, this indie claimed they're going out of business because WWE, the guy didn't even give an opinion. And then this motherfucker wants to go, oh, it's Fed bad bullshit. No, it's not. Everything's Fed bad. The Fed can be bad. Hey, you guys know that, right? The Fed can be bad too, right? Not everything can be good. You can't agree with things 100% of the time, or you're fucking like you're like not real. You don't have any real opinions. That's the problem with all the AEW ball suckers. In their minds, it's all good all the time. That's how you know that it's disingenuous. It can't all be good all the fucking time. There's no way. That's why, like, oh, I don't like you because you vote different than me. So you mean to tell me you agree with? There's a politician out there that you agree 100% of everything on? Like, what the fuck? You think you're gonna agree with everything on with everybody in the world? You know what I mean? That's like such a fucking weird, crazy, blue sky bubble paradox level way to try and live your life. You can't. No one's gonna agree on everything. So stop fucking, you know what I mean? It's crazy. But so there are wackos, though, like donning their masks and their capes now. And they're like, Metro, pills and dope, turn me to a superhero. I don't know why that song Heroes and Villains hit my mind there. Metro Boomin themed episode tonight. But yeah, Lucha Blog just said, my friend, this is what they claimed in their email. It is totally absurd, but it's an excuse to get out of a company and debt they had given up on years ago, but that should have been obvious, you know? And he's like, yeah, like obviously but anyways, Lucha Blog said, just to be clear, the bit about WWE AAA killing them off is what they wrote in their statement, but it's just some junk they made up. This is a company that had no chance from day one. The only question being if they were delusional or scammy. So, like, where's the Fed bad, wackos? Calm down, wackos. Okay, so in our latest news, just when you thought he was gone, Alberto El Patron pops up again, and he has a title match tonight. I should be hopefully it's on YouTube or something. I'm going to find this match. I'm going to watch it. Vikingo versus Alberto. Someone let me know, did he drop the belt? When he drops the belt, he's obviously dropping the fucking belt. WWE botched with the graphic. Again, beating the dirt sheets, your boy Phil, what I say. Even though motherfuckers was like, Alberto's not losing. I flat out got told he wasn't losing by people I fucking would believe 10 out of 10. I just stuck to my guns. I was like, I think he's losing, bro. Boom. WWE just put it out there. You can just puzzle piece that together. I mean, it's pretty obvious the way they're hyping Vikingo up, right? They're just, hey, man, we got to take the belt off him. But Alberto, they're sacrificing he's a hot heel, man. He's a hot fucking heel champion. And they're going to sacrifice a bit here by putting it on Vikingo. However, I think the idea, the more than meets the eye, is that WWE is so hot and they're going to get like WWE, and already Vikingo's a crossover guy and they want WWE and live wrestling shows there from WWE so bad. And even AEW, like you saw that they sold out Arena Mexico, although like that shit's owned by CMLL. I mean, whatever. It sells out all the time. It just sold out because it's a TV wrestling show. Okay. I fucking assure you. That's what Lucha Blog was saying as well. So they beat WWE to the punch. Good on them. I give them props for that. However, yeah, I think WWE is just like, well, with our name attached to it, we'll just keep the houses up, and it sucks. But Alberto will likely just work behind the scenes as a producer. People thought this was real, so let's read this. This was a work, though, guys. Okay. Confirmed here on PWT. No. Alberto El Patron snapped at a TV show and attacked members of the production crew of Venga la Alegría, a TV show in Mexico. This happened just days before his next championship match in Lucha Libre AAA. I could see him maybe just working as a heel the just AAA events, though. You guys know what I mean? Because I don't think they're going to stop doing shows. Like, not all shows are going to be AAA with NXT guys and shit. Like, you'll still see people cross over, like Nick Nemeth and stuff. And sure, Conan will have access to booking WWE talent, right? And it'll be a place where if, like, Natty wants to go, she can go. You know, it'll be a place people can go. A lot of the luchas will be over there. But I could see Alberto, like, just being on their regular events as a heel without the title and shit, you know. But again, it's an IP play, so they need that belt out there. They need to be like, he's the campeon, you know. They need to have Vikingo out there with that belt. Yeah, let's watch this. People thought this was for real. This guy wrote here. This happened just days before. This was not scripted. This was scripted, guys, okay? But it just looked real as shit because Alberto's legit a psychopath. We watched videos the other week, or last week, I think, where I showed you guys like two Mexican wrestlers cutting a promo like in a public park, and they get into a fight like this. And then we talked about street, like traffic light Mexican wrestling. This is how they do it. I'm telling you, bro, this is just some old school heat, but this is a work 100%. That punch should have gave it away right there.
¡Fuera de aquí, seguridad! ¡Sáquenlo! ¡Sáquenlo ya! ¡Les dije que no quería esto! ¡Sáquenlo de aquí, te lo dije! ¡Seguridad! ¡Sáquenlo ya! ¡No quedamos en eso! ¡No quedamos en eso! ¡Sáquenlo ya! ¡Sáquenlo ya! Sáquenlo ya. Vamos al corte.
Brilliant shit. And Del Rio was on their television, was on another one of their station shows later in the day. So this was entirely a work. Here's him cutting a promo after the incident here.
Les dije que no quería esto. Fuera de aquí. Les dije que no quería esto. Fuera de aquí, seguridad. Sáquenlo ya. Les dije que no quería esto.
Aquí te lo dije. Seguridad.
Sáquenlo ya.
Alberto Del Rio, el patrón más grande de todos los tiempos, en Venga, la alegría de Azteca. Y si ustedes creen que esto es lo que están esperando, es un preámbulo. Bueno, lo importante viene este sábado: Gimnasio Juan de la Barrera, lucha libre AAA, Worldwide, por el megacampeonato. Alberto Del Rio, el patrón, creado genéticamente a la perfección contra el Hijo del Vikingo. Ustedes no se lo pueden perder.
Interesting shit, man. He is hot, white hot right now. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was WWE